The book of Luke, chapter 18, starting at verse 7. Lord YAHAWASHI speaking in the red letter. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? All right, I'm going to start right there. I'm going to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI bahasham double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, wherever you might be. Shalom to 140 or 4,000. It's the brother Amawam Padal from the GMS Denver camp, coming at you with another lesson. It's a little late because, the plantation situation, didn't allow me to get a lesson in earlier today. But nonetheless, I'm here through the spirit, and I want to talk about something. And it actually revolves around, a situation at my job that happened today. Okay. Now, the thing is that, look, man, YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI is going to avenge his elect. And Lord willing, Abaratazah will that number. There's no doubt. There's no question about it. There's an elect remnant that will be redeemed in these last days. Okay. It says he's going to avenge them speedily. YAHAWASHI said that himself, man. He's not a man that he shall lie. Okay. But he said also, shall he find faith on the earth? Meaning when he returns, he was asking a question, will he find faith when he returns? And the answer to that is yes, man. The elect are going to hold on to their faith no matter, what they go through. All right. That small glimmer of hope, man. That faith of a mustard seed, which is mighty. Because shit is going to be so bad out here in the earth that a lot of people are going to lose faith. Those who are once in this truth, those who know that they're Israelites, you know what I'm saying? It's going to get so bad that a lot of people are going to lose their faith. But not the elect, man. And that's one thing I'm trying to stress in this lesson, is that we cannot lose faith no matter how bad it gets, no matter how crazy our circumstance may seem. And I feel like that's what the Lord has been trying to teach me in these last days, man. These past few weeks. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and, give you the scenario, man. So at my, current job, you know what I'm saying? They've been having me stay super late on camp days, only on camp days when we have camp here at GMS Denver. If you've been paying attention, the last sit down, I wasn't there. All right. I was on the comment board, but I wasn't there physically because I was at this damn job. And, it's very vexing, man. You got Babylon trying to get in the way, of you serving the Lord, man. I mean, because look, we're in hell, man. You got to have jobs and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But it really vexed me that I had to, be absent from the sit down, man. Though I was present on the comment board. Well, today we had camp, live camp, in the city. And at my job, they put me on an assignment that took forever, man. Like more than average, you know what I'm saying? It was longer than average. And it's like, damn, these people that are at my job doing the schedule, it's like Satan is working with them, man. It's like only on days I have camp, they, put me on the most toughest, rigorous tasks, you know what I'm saying? To make me late for camp. It's like, damn, that's Satan working through these people, man. These demonic forces working through these people. And I'm praying the whole day, Lord, just help me get off early enough so I can get to camp, man, to be with the brothers to glorify thy name, And throughout the day, man, things was happening. Delays were happening, in the specific job that we were doing. And it was just like, it wasn't normal. I'll say it that way. It wasn't normal. It's like after every, how should I say this? It was getting dragged out longer and longer as the day progressed. And I was like, damn, I'm not going to make it to camp at all. You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking that, and I was like, nah, you know what? The Lord got me, man. You know what I'm saying? Then something else would happen to drag out the day even longer. So I'm like, God damn, I'm getting vexed, man. The people that I was working with, they was taking their damn time and, just Satan working through these people, man. And I was just thinking like, Lord, please, don't cast me away from thy presence. You know what I'm saying? Because, this truth is my life, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing around with this thing, man. We're here to serve the Lord. If I can't do that, what am I here to do? I mean, what am I doing here? That's what I was thinking. So I'm like, Lord, please don't cast me away from thy presence. Satan was in my mind. Like, look, yeah, that's the Lord casting you away. You see, that's why he don't want you to go to camp, because he's casting you away. And those thoughts would come into my head. Then I had to rebuke him. Like, nah, man, I've been serving the Lord in truth and sincerity this whole time. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe the Lord gonna cast me away out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I had to rebuke that thought and keep the faith, man, that I could somehow make it to camp. And to make a long story short, I ended up making it in the nick of time, man. I was able to prophesy with the IKM out here in GMS Denver. I came late, but I actually made it, man. I was far, far away, from the campsite. We had to travel, out of town pretty much for this job. And the Lord made a way, man. He made a way. And I was thinking, like, damn, I got to get my faith up, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking to myself, like, I wasn't going to make it, I was going to miss the camp, and the Lord made it to where I made it. And that's why I'm doing this lesson right here, man. We can't lose the faith no matter how crazy the situation may seem. It might seem like there's no way out. But the Lord can come through in the last seconds, man. He's the ultimate clutch player. I like to say that from time to time. YAHAWASHI, all right, YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI is the ultimate clutch player. He's the savior, man. And he saves in the nick of time. And there's an account that I want to get into as well, where that happened. He's looking for us to keep the faith, man, even in situations where it don't seem like we gonna make it. That's the test, man. All right. So yeah, he's gonna find faith in the elect, man, when things get really bad out here to where it looks like we're not gonna make it. He gonna come through for his elect. Just hold on to the faith. Keep that mustard seed of faith, man. All right, that glimmer of hope. So here we have the book of Daniel, the 3rd chapter. I'm not gonna read the entire chapter for time's sake. All right, but I'm gonna start, at the point here. The heathen king Nebuchadnezzar, as you can see right here, all right, in the Neo-Babylonian Empire, set up an image, an idol, a golden statue, and he wanted everybody in his realm to worship it at the sound of, certain musical instruments. And as you know, in our law, we are not to bow down to any idols, man. We only worship YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI. And, 3 brethren, you know what I'm saying? All right, 3 Hebrew Israelites back then were put in a position to where they were being coerced to bow down to this statue under the threat of death. Sound familiar? All right, Esau finna do the same thing in these last days with his RFID microchip. All right, that's the new version of that. So anyway, let's jump down to the point here. All right, let's see. All right, verse 10, it says, "Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image." That was the law that he put in place, man. He put it in the law. All right, that when they hear that music, everybody has to bow down to that image that he set up. All right, verse 11. "And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace." All right, it's a grievous death, man. "There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego." And their Hebrew names are Azarias, Hananiah, and Mishael. All right, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are their Babylonian names they were given by the king in that certain captivity. All right, "These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up." You had snitches back then. All right, trying to get them caught up, man. And that's what was going on. They're going to do the same thing in these last days. Those Hebrew Israelites are not taking the RFID microchip. They're going to try to turn us in, man, just like they're doing right here. All right. And Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, "Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do ye not serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands?" So now he was talking shit. Not only was he trying to get, three righteous men of YAHAWAH bahasham to offend the Lord, now he's talking shit against the Lord. He said, what guy gonna save y'all? I'm about to kill y'all niggas. Pretty much, that's what he was saying. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. So they're like, look, we ain't scared to answer you, man. All right, that's the boldness that the elect will have. All right, for YAHAWAH bahasham. And they're talking to a king here, man. This ain't no regular average, supervisor at the job. This is a king of a realm, a nation. All right. I believe the Neo-Babylonian Empire had 127 provinces, man. So this ain't no light deal that's going on right here. But the Lord, man, he's calling for us to be that bold as well in these last days. Now, verse 17, if it be so, our power, whom we serve, right, YAHAWAH bahasham, is able to deliver us from the fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. You see that? That's that hope that they had in the face of the angry king, threatening them with a horrific, gruesome death. They had hope in who? YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI, in an impossible situation. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. So they're saying, no matter what happens, we ain't about to bow down to your idol, man. You fucking tripping. We ain't about to do that, man. You see? Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. So they say, we're going to make this extra hot for y'all. He was that pissed off, man. And that's how this society is going to be with us, because we are against this society. The majority of people are going to be mad at us, especially the government officials that want to bring forth the New World Order. They're going to try to threaten us with all type of shit, man. Life in prison, death for not receiving the RFID microchip, bowing down to the beast system. See, these things are written aforetime for our learning, but we still going to have that hope that the Lord can save us, man. Verse 20. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army, the special forces, right, to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. All right. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. So they were actually thrown into the furnace at this point, man. All right. Imagine that, man. Imminent death. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So the fire was so hot, ended up burning the men that threw them into the furnace. So they had spirits on their ass, man, to get that close to the damn fire, just to kill, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's how these people are, man. They got demons on their ass, man, and they hate the spirit of YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI, to the point where they will even go that far to try to kill, the men of the Lord, right? Verse 23. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. So they are in the midst of the fire, man. It looks like it's lights out, right? From a carnal perspective. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of the Most High. And that's YAHAWASHI. All right. So Nebuchadnezzar looked in, and he saw the 3 Hebrew men walking with another one, which is YAHAWASHI, the Savior, right in the nick of time. YAHAWASHI came through. All right. The ultimate clutch player, man, YAHAWASHI. You see? So that's the point, man. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. So there you go, man. YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI was glorified in the sight of the heathen in that incident, man. That's going to be happening for the elect in these last days, when it comes to Jacob's trouble in the time we're entering into, man. currently in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, like the worst time this earth has ever seen, but it's finna intensify because right now it hasn't reached its max level. All right, but we're finna, be taken through these different tribulations, man. We don't know what situation we might find ourselves in, but we gotta continue to hold on to that faith, man, because YAHAWASHI, he can come through in the last second, man, for those who continue to hold on. All right, Salaki. All right, here we have the prayer of Azariah in the Apocrypha, chapter 1, starting verse 26. It's going into that same account. Now, Azariah is the name of, one of the Hebrew men that was in that furnace. It says, but the angel of the Lord came down into the oven together with Azariah and his fellows and smote the flame of the fire out of the oven. Check it out, man. Divine intervention. And made the midst of the furnace as it had been a moist whistling wind, so that the fire touched them not at all, neither hurt nor troubled them. You see that? The Lord YAHAWASHI came through, in the last seconds, where it looked like, all hope was lost. And a miracle was performed, man, to the point where they weren't even burned. They didn't, get touched at all by the fire. You see that? Then the three, as out of one mouth, praised, glorified, and blessed the Most High in the furnace, saying, blessed art thou, O Lord, power of our fathers, and to be praised and exalted above all forever. And that's the Lord getting his praise, man. We're going to have situations like this, brought upon the elect in these last days, man. You could be, under a guillotine. Esau got you in a government facility trying to force you to take the mark of the beast, and you refuse. He might say, well, we're going to chop your head off. All right. He dropped the blade come down, and you disappear. You know what I'm saying? And you reappear in another room or something, or outside of the prison. A miracle. An angel might, teleport you, or the blade might break on your neck, man. You get up and receive spiritual power and get busy. Look, our hope is different from the rest of these people in the world, man. We understand the power of YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI, and that's why we don't lose hope, man. We can't lose hope, no matter how crazy the situation may seem. We have these accounts of old to reference. And I had to get this one. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So you gotta have faith in a way out, even when it doesn't seem like there's a way out. And that's what I'm learning, more and more in these last days as I'm put in these different situations. And I'm sure you, Akim, and Akwat as well. All right? Believe in the Lord, man. Keep putting those prayers up, even when it don't seem good, man. And see what the Lord gonna do, according to his will. Okay? Those of you that have been truly and sincerely serving YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI, he's not gonna just leave us out here hanging. A lot of these things we go through is a test of our faith, to strengthen our faith, man. Just like today, the incident that I was in, I didn't think I was gonna make it to camp, for a while. I just continued to pray to the Lord, man. It didn't look good, but I ended up making it, man. You see? That's just a small example, but, at the same time, it's very big, man, in the spirit. Because that's the concept that you have to have in the time we're coming into. All right, 1 Peter 4, verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? And there it is, man. It says we're scarcely going to be saved. We brought this out tonight at camp, at the GMS Denver Live camp. All right, we quoted it, that the elect going to be saved in the nick of time. Okay, in a lot of situations, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is the ultimate clutch player. And that's why we got to hold on to our faith to the last millisecond. You know what I'm saying? We got to develop that mentality now. That's powerful, man. Believing on YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI, even when the world looks at our situation as hopeless. And then the Lord comes through with a miracle and shuts everybody the fuck up. That's what we looking forward to, man. All right? So yeah, man. So the righteous shall scarcely be saved, but those who don't believe in YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI, the ungodly and the sinners, they're not going to have any hope, man. We have a lively hope, that YAHAWASHI is going to come through and avenge us, man. And he will surely avenge his elect, as it is written. The Lord will have you on the edge of your seat, man, at certain situations. He'll have you, at the last millisecond, you know what I'm saying? And then he comes through. Just when you think he ain't there, he's there, man. All right. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 19. Which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, and which entereth into that within the veil. All right. The hope that we have, it keeps us anchored, in this truth, man. Believing in the miracles. It keeps us fighting, man, in a world that's completely against the will of YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI. Well, I'm going to say it this way. In a world that's completely against the spirit of YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI. We have hope that we could be of the elect, man. That keeps us going in turbulent times. You understand? And we remain steadfast. Check this out. Hebrews 2 verse 3. How shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation, which at first began to be spoken by the Lord YAHAWASHI, right, and was confirmed unto us by them that heard him? So we have a shot at salvation, man. How we gonna get out of this predicament that we're in with Esau, Edom, ruling the earth in wickedness, and all the heathen with their military might and all that stuff, man? The whole world is against us, man. How we gonna get out of this unless we hope in the Lord, man, and have that faith? The Lord is only dealing with those who have faith, man. All right, we can't neglect this salvation that's getting ready to come, man, because it's written that it will take place. A great salvation, the greatest salvation, is being reserved for the elect, man. So it's going to be a seemingly hopeless situation, and then the Lord comes through, man. Because ultimately, when those thermonuclear missiles are launched, all right, the only way out of this thing is through a miracle, man. YAHAWASHI returning with the angels and changing our bodies and taking us up into the chariot, man. That's the only way out of this, man. So we can't let go of that hope, man. You gotta have real faith to believe that, man. And a lot of Israelites that got on fringes and that are a part of camps don't even have that hope, man. So they're condemned already. They're through. All right. This is why we can't give up on YAHAWASHI when things seem bad, man. All right, thinking that the Lord neglected you and just cast you away. Nah, Continue to have that hope. I'm gonna close with this. I gotta head out. It's getting late. I gotta go to sleep. But anyway, it says Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. And you gotta guard against that faint-heartedness, man. Because in this flesh, you might have doubts. Or maybe the Lord ain't gonna come through. Nah, man, we got to get rid of that shit now. All right? The Lord brought us into this truth for salvation. We can't be moving in that spirit of doubt, man. We got to fight against that, man. We got to rebuke that spirit of doubt. All right? Because we're going to be put in different situations where it's going to look hopeless, man. And if you lose hope, you lose, man. You see, you will not be defended. This is a serious message to you hopeful elect out there. Speaking to myself first and foremost, man. You gotta guard against that murmuring spirit. Nah, man. Verse 14. Woe, that means destruction, unto you that have lost patience. And patience goes into enduring suffering. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? So those who fall out of this truth, those who, lose the faith because they're going through, too much. You know what I'm saying? They let Satan get in their mind and they stop believing on the Lord, man, because they're catching too much hell. Hey, what's going to happen, man, when the Lord pops up, man? Your ass going to be left here because you lost the faith. We can't lose the faith no matter what predicament we find ourselves in, man. The Lord is more than capable of coming through in any situation if we hold on to the faith in him, man. That's the key point of this lesson, man. All right? I just use myself as an example of what happened today at my job, man. All right, there's going to be even more, stressful situations that we find ourselves in, and we cannot lose the faith in the Lord, man. Point blank, period. We're expecting miracles. We're going to wait for the Lord to come through for us, man, as he said he would. So with that being said, I'm going to end this lesson right here. Hopefully the elect will edify. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI bahasham YAHAWAH, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of YAHAWAH bahasham YAHAWASHI. Oh, and real quick, think about this, man. When those nuclear missiles are shot off into the ends of the world, man, when they're headed over here towards America, Babylon the Great, all right, we might still be on the ground watching the missiles soar in the air. we still got to hold on to that faith, because the Lord YAHAWASHI could come through in the last millisecond and beam us up, man. So we got to have that kind of faith all the way into the end. Kwame Asherah, the Bible Bar. Shalom to the elect.